Alright, back to another album review. Last week I talked about the Network and their debut album, Money Money 2020. Needless to say, it was a really good album considering how underrated it is. I mentioned in my review that the Network went dormant after opening for Green Day for several shows in October of 2005. Fast forward to October of 2020 when the Network announced their reunion. They did release a teaser on their YouTube channel, but we'll get back to that. Anyways, today's review is on Money Money 2020 Part 2, We Told You So. The second album from the Network, and it's a long-awaited follow-up to Money Money 2020. The album was recorded in 2020 at various studios. Just like its predecessor, it was self-produced. The mixing and mastering were handled by Z, and I mentioned last time that he's the keyboardist for the Network. The album was released on December 4th, 2020 under Joe Robot Records, which is the Network's own record label. I believe Warner Music Group was the distributor. Anyways, this album is mainly centered around synth punk and new wave, but also touches upon pop punk, alternative rock, and electronic. It also has the same lineup as last time. Now I could go into detail about the identities of the guys from the Network, since I already did that last time. Besides, we still don't know the actual identities of Z and Captain Underpants. Before releasing this album, the Network released an EP called Trans Am on November 20th, 2020. The EP is digital only, but I don't really need it because all the songs that are on it are on this album. Granted, the EP was released in order to draw hype for the album. Anyways, let's talk about the songs. This album starts with The Prophecy. So it's the first single from the album, and the single was released on October 29th, 2020. Basically, this is about a prophecy predicting that the Network would return in 2020, and that's exactly what happened. On top of that, Mike Dern is the one performing vocals on this song. It's also a music video that was made, and I'll post a link to it in the description. Now, granted, the video does have some recycled footage from the video for Joe Robot. So it's a great song, and we're only getting started. The next song is called Theory of Reality. So it's the first song on the album where Billy Joe Armstrong sings. I mean, he is the lead singer / lead guitarist for the Network. After that is Trans Am. The song was released as a single on November 20th, 2020 in order to coincide with the Trans Am EP. Now, a music video was made for the song, and I'll post a link to it in the description. The video itself was done in the style of a movie trailer, even though it's not an actual movie. It would be cool if it was. Now, up next is Asphyxia, which was released as a single on December 8th, 2020. This is the first song to feature Trey Cool singing. I mentioned last time that whenever Trey performs vocals, Billy is on drums, leaving Jason White as the sole guitarist, even though Jason is the rhythm guitarist. A music video was made for the song, and I'll post a link to it in the description. Followed up with Fentanyl. It was released as a single on November 27th, 2020. Billy goes back to singing on the song. Of course, the song is about the drug called fentanyl. A music video was made, and I'll post a link to it in the description. Not only is this my favorite song from the album, but it's also my overall favorite song by the Network. That's followed up with Ivanka as a Nazi, which is the second single from the album. The single was released on November 2nd, 2020. Billy sings on the song. Of course, the song was made to criticize Ivanka Trump by saying that she's a Nazi and a member of the KKK, which couldn't be any further from the truth. I mean, Donald Trump is a white supremacist and is basically America's Hitler. Granted, every Trump supporter is either a white supremacist or a Nazi sympathizer. Thankfully, Trump's reign of terror ended last year. Anyways, I'm going to post a link to the music video in the description. Now, one thing I should mention is that this is the most popular song from the Network. I'd argue that it's because the song is meant to criticize Ivanka Trump. Up next is Digital Black, which is another song where Mike sings. That's followed up with Flat Earth, which was released as a single on November 23rd, 2020. And there's another song where Trey sings. It was made from the perspective of those dumbasses who think the Earth is flat. I mean, the Flat Earth Society consists of some of the stupidest people ever to exist. I mean, shit, I was only 5 when I learned the Earth is spherical. What's the Flat Earth Society's excuse? Anyways, I'm going to include a link to the song's music video in the description. Now, with all honesty, I think the song is pretty catchy. It's followed up with Degenerate, which was released as a single on December 15th, 2020. And we go back to Billy singing on the song. And I'll include a link to the music video in the description. Next song is called Pizzagate. The song holds the distinction of being the only song on the album that's fully instrumental. It's also the shortest, at only 47 seconds long. Followed up with Carolina's ultimate Netflix tweet, which is yet another song with Billy singing. And if you take the first letter from each song. Yeah, if you take the first letter from each word in the song's title, it spells out the word cunt. And I'm pretty sure that was intentional. After that is Respirator, which is another song where Trey sings. You know, basically the song was made to mock anti-maskers who have died from COVID. I mean, anti-vaxxers and anti-maskers are the main reason why COVID has only gotten worse. Those vermin are also the reason why so many movies have either gotten delayed or released onto streaming services instead of theaters. Still like the song, though. You know, Troy sings on the next song, which is called Squatter in My Flat. It's also the second shortest song at 54 seconds long. Yeah, he also serves the same role on the next song, which is called That's How They Get You. Next song is called Tarantula. We go back to having Mike singing. Not only that, but this is also one of my favorite songs from the album. They followed up with Cancer is the New Black. I'll be honest and say that this song is pretty catchy. On top of that, we go back to having Billy perform lead vocals. It's followed up with The Stranger. So you got another song with vocals by Trey. He also sings on the next song, which is called Hey Elon. Basically, this is a song that was meant to make fun of Elon Musk, which is understandable given the fact that Elon is out of his fucking mind. Granted, most billionaires are fucking insane, and not in a good way. This probably explains why billionaires always get made fun of on social media. Next song is called Popper Punk, where we go back to having Billy go back to singing. When listening to this song, it sounds like they use a drum machine instead of actual drums. Granted, there are other songs on the album where a drum machine is used in place of actual drums. After that is Jerry Falwell's Pool Party, which happens to be the second longest song on the album at 3 minutes and 24 seconds long. Followed up with Herd Immunity, which is where we go back to having Mike sing. I'm pretty sure the network made the song to make fun of anti-vaxxers. I mean, anti-vaxxers are terrorists and are the main reason why COVID has only gotten worse. Mike also sings on the next song, which is called Time Capsule. Now Billy goes back to sing on the next song, which is called Threat Level Midnight. The song was released as a single on December 4th, 2020, which was the same day as the album. They made a music video for the song, and I'll include a link to it in the description. In February of 2021, the network performed the song on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. And I'll include a link to the footage in the description. Despite watching that footage, the network moved just like how they do in their music videos. It's pretty interesting to watch. It's another one of my favorite songs from the album. You go back to having Mike sing on the next song, which is called Amnesia Vagabond. The album ends with Art of the Deal with the Devil, where we go back to having Billy sing. One thing I should mention is that this is the longest song on the album at 3 minutes and 33 seconds long. I couldn't find any information on how well this album did commercially. If anyone knows, be sure to let me know in the comments. However, I did find some reviews online. It does have a 4.7 out of 5 on both Amazon and Discogs. And New Noise magazine also really liked it. As for my opinion on it, well, I personally think it's even better than its predecessor. It has nearly twice as many songs, and it's nearly twice as long when it comes to the runtime. Despite listening to this album, it sounds like the network had a lot of fun making it. I highly recommend this album. Honestly, I really wish I had known about this album sooner, because I would have definitely placed it as number 4 on my list of the best albums of 2020. One thing I noticed is that the network does have social media pages, but they've all been dormant since February of 2021. I think the network may have disbanded again since they haven't done anything since February of 2021. I don't know if they'll make any more music, but the chances of that happening are pretty slim, but you never know. On the plus side, Green Day are still together and are still releasing new music. Before I end this review, I'd like to give a shout out to the Legit Gamer 91 for supporting my work and for being a good friend. A link to his channel will be in the description, and I recommend subscribing to his channel. Anyways, now's the part where I question you. Have you listened to Money Money 2020 Part 2? If so, what are your thoughts on it? What's your favorite song from it? How do you think this album is compared to its predecessor? Do you think the identities of Z and Captain Underpants will ever be revealed? And do you think the network will ever make a follow-up to this album? Let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to hit the notification bell to notify future uploads. Thanks for watching, I'll be back soon with another video.